my wife texted, "I'm taking the kids to my parents' house, and you'll never see us again. My lawyer will contact you." I simply replied, "All right." That night, I sent her lawyer a video footage she didn't even know existed. The next morning, my phone rang. It was her lawyer, and what he said next changed everything. I'm Mark, 45, and I thought I had a decent marriage. Not perfect, but decent. Jessica and I had been together for 17 years, married for 14, 2 kids, Emma, 12, and Noah, 9. We lived in a quiet suburb, had barbecues on weekends, went to parent-teacher conferences together, the whole package, or so I believed. It started unraveling about 6 months ago. Jessica became distant. She'd stay late at book club or girls' night 3, sometimes 4 times a week. Her phone was suddenly password protected. She'd take calls in the garage or the backyard, always walking away when I entered the room. Classic signs, right? But I'm not the jealous type. I figured maybe she was stressed, going through something, planning a surprise. I gave her space. Then came that Tuesday, March 14th. I remember because it was Noah's birthday the next day, and we were supposed to finalize party details that evening. Instead, at 4:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. The text read exactly as I described: cold, final. No explanation, no emotion. Just a declaration that my family was gone. I stared at that message for maybe 2 minutes. My hands didn't shake. My heart didn't race. I just felt empty. Then I typed back, "All right. That's it." 1 word. Because honestly, what else was there to say? If she'd made up her mind to blow up our family without even a conversation, then she'd already left me emotionally long before that text. I sat in our living room that night, in the dark, thinking about the previous 3 months. See, I'm not stupid. When Jessica's behavior changed so dramatically, I didn't confront her immediately because I wanted to understand what I was dealing with first. So, I'd installed a security camera in our home office 2 months earlier, disguised as a regular desk clock. It had motion activation and cloud storage. I told myself it was just for peace of mind, that I'd probably find nothing and feel foolish. I was wrong. The footage showed Jessica bringing someone into our house. A man. His name was Derek. I found that out later. He was her CrossFit instructor. Young, probably early 30s, with that annoyingly chiseled look that guys like me can't compete with at 45. They'd meet in our home office while the kids were at school and I was at work. The footage was damning. Kissing, inappropriate touching, conversations about how she deserved better and how I was checked out emotionally and boring. The worst part? In one video from 3 weeks ago, she told him, "I'm taking the kids to my parents next month. I'll file for divorce, get full custody, and make sure he pays for everything while we start our life together." That's when I knew this wasn't just an affair. This was a calculated plan to destroy me financially and take my children. So when that text came through, I already had my response prepared. I'd already contacted a divorce attorney that morning, a shark named Patricia Morris, who'd been recommended by a colleague. I'd already copied all the security footage to 3 separate drives and uploaded it to a secure cloud account. That night, after I replied "all right" to Jessica, I sent a single email to the attorney whose name she'd dropped casually in her text. His name was Richard Feldman, a local guy who handled mostly uncontested divorces. I'd looked him up. Mid-level, not particularly aggressive, probably took the case because Jessica made it sound simple. The email was brief. "Mr. Feldman, I understand you'll be representing Jessica Thompson in our divorce proceedings. Before you file any paperwork, I think you should review the attached video files. They're dated and time-stamped. There are 17 separate incidents documented. Please advise your client accordingly. Mark Thompson." I attached 5 of the most damning clips. Nothing graphic enough to be revenge porn or illegal, but clear enough to show infidelity, her planning, and her intentions regarding custody. Then I went to bed. I didn't sleep much, but I went through the motions. The next morning, Noah's birthday, ironically, my phone rang at 8:23 a.m. unknown number. I answered. Mr. Thompson? This is Richard Feldman. His voice sounded tired, stressed, not the confident attorney voice I'd expected. Yes? I need to speak with you about your wife's case, or rather, what was going to be her case. Mr. Thompson, I've reviewed the footage you sent. All of it. Multiple times. And? There was a long pause. I'm withdrawing as her counsel effective immediately. I've already informed Mrs. Thompson this morning. What she described to me and what your evidence shows are two completely different situations. She told me this was a case of emotional neglect, that you were verbally abusive, that she feared for her safety and needed to protect the children. I've never touched her in anger. Never. I believe you. The footage shows, well, it shows she's been having an affair in your marital home, that she's been planning to file false allegations to gain advantage in custody proceedings, and that she's been manipulating the narrative. Mr. Thompson, I can't ethically represent someone who's lied to me this extensively. I'm sorry you're going through this. What did she say when you told her? Another pause. She's calling me right now, actually. Multiple times. I'm not answering. I've sent her an email formally withdrawing. My advice to you? Get a good attorney. Document everything, file first, and prepare for her to get very nasty when she realizes her plan has collapsed. Already done. Thank you for your honesty. He hung up. 2 hours later, Jessica called me. I didn't answer. She called 6 more times. Then came the texts. Mark, what did you do? My lawyer dropped me. What did you send him? This is insane. We can talk about this. I made a mistake. We can work this out. Please. Think about the kids. That last one made me laugh bitterly. Think about the kids. She'd planned to rip them away from their father based on lies, and now she wanted me to think about them. I texted back once. My attorney will contact you. Don't come to the house. Don't contact me again except through legal counsel. Then I blocked her number. Update 1: Jessica's parents called me that afternoon. Her father, Robert, who I'd always gotten along with. Mark, what the hell is going on? Jessica's here crying, saying you've destroyed her life, that you sent some kind of horrible video to her lawyer. Robert, did she tell you why she left? Did she mention she's been having an affair for months, that she brought another man into our home, our bedroom, while the kids were at school? Silence. Because that's what the video shows. That's what 17 separate recordings prove. She didn't leave because I was a bad husband. She left because she got caught. Jesus Christ. His voice cracked. She said you were emotionally abusive, that you ignored her. I have footage of her and her boyfriend planning this whole thing, Robert. Planning to accuse me of things I never did so she could get full custody and take everything. I can send you copies if you want to see what your daughter's been doing. No, I believe you. I know my daughter. She's always been calculated when she wants something. Mark, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Where are the kids? They're here. They don't know anything yet. They think this is just a visit. Can I talk to them? Of course. Hold on. Emma got on the phone first. Dad? When are you coming? Mom said we're staying here for a while, but she won't say why. My heart broke. Hey, sweetheart. I'm dealing with some grown-up stuff right now, but I'm going to see you very soon, okay? How's your brother? He's sad. It's his birthday, and we're not home. We didn't even have cake yet. I'll make it up to him. I promise. I love you both so much. Love you too, Dad. After I hung up, I sat there feeling like the world's biggest failure. My kids were confused and hurting because their mother decided to blow up our family for a CrossFit instructor. Patricia, my attorney, filed for divorce that same day. She also filed for emergency temporary custody, citing the evidence of infidelity, Jessica's plan to make false allegations, and the fact that she'd removed the children from the marital home without my knowledge or consent. The hearing was set for 5 days later. Update 2. The custody hearing was brutal. Jessica showed up with a new attorney, some young guy fresh out of law school who probably took the case cheap. He was unprepared and outmatched. Patricia presented the video evidence systematically. The judge, a woman in her 60s named Barbara Chen, watched selected clips with an increasingly stony expression. Jessica tried to argue that I'd violated her privacy, that the recordings were illegal. Judge Chen shut that down immediately. Mrs. Thompson, these recordings were made in your own home, in common areas, by a device owned by your husband. There's no expectation of privacy violation here. What I see is documented evidence of adultery and premeditated planning to make false allegations in family court. Do you understand how seriously I take false allegations in custody cases? Jessica started crying. I just wanted out. He was never there emotionally. I felt alone. Then you file for divorce honestly, Judge Chen said coldly. You don't commit adultery in your marital home and plan to weaponize your children. Mr. Thompson, I'm granting you temporary primary custody. Mrs. Thompson will have supervised visitation every other weekend, pending the final divorce decree. I'm also ordering a full custody evaluation. Jessica's face went white. Her attorney tried to object, but Judge Chen raised her hand. I've seen enough. Next case. Walking out of that courtroom, I felt vindicated but hollow. I'd won the battle, but my kids were still caught in the middle of this disaster. That weekend, I picked up Emma and Noah from Jessica's parents' house. Robert apologized again, quietly, while Jessica stayed inside. The kids were quiet on the drive home. Emma kept asking questions I couldn't fully answer yet. Are you and Mom getting divorced? Yes, honey, we are. Is it because of us? No, absolutely not. This has nothing to do with you two. Your mom and I, we made mistakes. Adult mistakes. But we both love you more than anything. Noah, my 9-year-old, just stared out the window. I heard Grandma say Mom has a boyfriend. Is that true? I gripped the steering wheel tighter. That's something your mom should talk to you about. But yes. Is that why you're mad at her? I'm not mad, buddy. I'm hurt. But I'm going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. That night I made Noah a birthday cake, chocolate with vanilla frosting, his favorite. We sang happy birthday 3 days late. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Update 3. The divorce took 4 months to finalize. Jessica tried to drag it out, hoping I'd fold, but Patricia was relentless. The custody evaluation came back strongly in my favor. The evaluator's report noted Jessica's pattern of deception, her affair, and her willingness to make false allegations. It recommended I retain primary custody with Jessica getting standard visitation. Jessica's relationship with Derek fell apart within 6 weeks of the separation. Turns out, he wasn't interested in a serious relationship with a woman going through a messy divorce with 2 kids. Shocker. She tried to reconcile once, about 2 months in. She showed up at the house one evening when the kids were at a friend's house. Mark, please. Can we talk? No. I made a horrible mistake. I was confused. I want to come home. You don't have a home here anymore. You made your choice. I was scared. I felt invisible. I just wanted to feel wanted again. Then you should have talked to me. You should have suggested counseling. You should have done literally anything except cheat on me, plan to destroy me, and try to take my kids. I know I was wrong, but we can fix this, for Emma and Noah. No, Jessica, we can't. You didn't just break my heart. You broke my trust. You put our children through hell because you were selfish. I could forgive a lot of things, but I can't forgive what you tried to do to me in court. She left crying. I felt nothing. The final divorce decree came through in July. I got primary custody, The house split assets fairly down the middle. Jessica got every other weekend with the kids, some holidays. She had to pay a small amount in child support, which probably killed her pride. Final update. It's been 8 months since that text message. Emma and Noah are adjusting. They see a therapist who specializes in children of divorce. They're doing okay. Not great, but okay. Emma understands more than Noah, and sometimes I catch her being angry at her mother. I try to discourage that, even though part of me wants to let her feel what she feels. Noah asks sometimes if his mom and I might get back together. I tell him gently that we won't, but that we both love him. Jessica has moved into an apartment across town. She's working full-time now, something she hadn't done since Emma was born. Her parents are still cordial with me, which is more than I expected. Robert told me privately that he and his wife had a long conversation with Jessica about accountability. I appreciated that. Derek, the CrossFit instructor, apparently moved to another state. I don't know and don't care. As for me, I'm learning to be a single dad. I'm learning to cook better meals, to braid Emma's hair for school, to help Noah with his math homework without losing my patience. I'm learning that I'm stronger than I thought. Do I regret installing that camera? Number. It saved me from years of court battles, false allegations, and potentially losing my children to someone willing to lie to get her way. Do I miss Jessica? I miss who I thought she was. I miss the idea of an intact family. But I don't miss the woman who could betray me that completely. Someone at work asked me recently if I'd ever trust anyone again. Honestly? I don't know. Maybe someday. But right now, I'm focused on being the father my kids need. That's enough. Edit. Several people have asked about Derek and whether he knew Jessica was married. From what I gathered later through mutual acquaintances, yes, he knew. He didn't care. Apparently, he had a reputation at the gym for this kind of thing. The gym eventually let him go after other complaints surfaced. Karma is real. Edit 2. For those asking about whether I told Emma and Noah the full truth, I told them age-appropriate versions. Emma knows her mother had a relationship with someone else while we were still married. Noah knows less, just that Mom and I couldn't work things out. Their therapist recommended this approach, and I'm following professional guidance. When they're older, they can know everything if they want to.